Hey everybody, Tony G from MusicLegacyInternational.com. I'm here with the great slide guitarist, Kerry Kearney. We're going to have a conversation about his career and what's going on with him. Kerry, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you for having me. This is great. Love it.
Yeah, we're loving it too. This is a dream come true for me.
The end of the summer, I'm not loving that though too much.
What's that?
The end of the summer, I'm not loving too much though.
Yeah, I know.
After Labor Day.
Yeah.
But at least it's nice out though.
It's kind of like they flick a switch.
That's it, yeah. But the weather's nice though. That's the only thing.
Yeah. Well, I think what's going to happen is things are going to change a little bit now with music, especially since we're starting to do live events out of here.
Okay.
There's a lot of great venues around Long Island that have been coming back. Not so much coming back that they were here before, but we're getting more activity and life on Long Island. Mm-hmm. You've been through it. I think we're around the same age. Mm. Back in the day, we had a great music scene here on Long Island, and all of a sudden things changed a little bit for a while.
I think music changed too. I think is what it was.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what got it like that too.
Yeah,
I think things coming like a little more of a full circle. I think.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the Grateful Dead bands coming back. It's funny. The Grateful Dead is one band I find that's even though they're not all a lot of the members aren't here anymore, but even if you touched them somehow musically, and you played with one of the members, it just goes on and on and on and on. Yeah. And it's the only band that's like that, I notice.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing. It's a whole scene. It's a whole big thing.
That's it.
Them and Jimmy Buffett, actually. Yes. He was another one that was like that. Yeah. Got a whole scene. Yeah. You have one song, one really big hit, and it's history.
But an amazing following.
Oh, right? yeah. Something. Parrot heads.
Yeah. Fantastic. And so now, because in Music Legacy, we have artists from beginner to pro, I usually like to start out with, where did you come from? I know you started playing guitar very young, like 10 years old, right?
Yeah, I always wanted to play guitar even since I was like 3. I remember seeing the Beatles on TV. I can remember seeing them on Ed Sullivan.
Yeah.
I was born in '60. So what was interesting about it too is that I had nothing to gauge it against because I wasn't that old to like understand who Elvis was or this or that. I had a big family, my brothers, whatever, and they were a lot older than I am. I'm the youngest of the family. My first brother was born in 1950. So my other brother was, I think, maybe 54. One was born in 55. So in the 60s, I had all the greatest music when I was of that ilk, of that era and age. But the funny thing was that I couldn't really gauge the Beatles against anything, if they were good or what it was. But I knew it was special. Mm. That's how powerful they are, how that band was.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and like you were saying, the variety of genres that they actually had in their albums.
Oh yeah.
Which was unheard of back in the day. You did this type of album or this type of album, and all of a sudden, here come the Beatles with a pop song, a bluesy hit, just stuff that you never even you couldn't even categorize it.
I was just gifted with a sitar.
Oh, cool.
And the first thing I thought about, obviously, was George Harrison.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I got to string it up. I got to get it checked out. I mean, since I play guitar, I could probably get my way around it. Not that I could actually master it, but I would love to just, play it a little bit. It's going to be another piece of my thing.
Oh, I always wanted one of them.
That's when my girlfriend, we lived together, and she, the guy walked in with the case. He goes, "Kerry, I have a present for you." And this case is about 5 feet long. She goes, "Well, I guess we have more furniture in the house." It's one of those things. I have so much memorabilia around the house. It's crazy, but it's fun though.
That's what my wife always tells me. How many guitars can you play? I go, how many can you give me?
That's it.
I had like 90 something, and I'm down to like 40 something.
Oh boy. Only a few, I guess.
But they're fun. Some are very special.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have those ones that you would never.
People say it's kind of like a children, though. You can't say which is one is the most favorite. It's all they're all together. What's going on? So
and they all have a different feel. But speaking of the sitar, I have a Line 6 Variax. You know what that is?
Oh yeah, sure.
And it has a sitar
sound in it. Yeah.
Switch.
Wow.
So that it gets some cool effects out of that.
That's
pretty cool. So now let's talk about that 10-year-old. What you're thinking at that point, and how you evolved to where you are now. It doesn't have to be a long, drawn-out thing, but maybe milestones of what brought you to where you are now.
My older brother played guitar when I was very, very young. And like around 65, my dad came home from work one day. It was my brother's birthday. And he said, my brother said to him, he goes, "You promised me a guitar, Dad." So my father's like, "All right, I guess we won't eat this week. Let's go." So down our block in Bay Ridge, I was born in Bay Ridge, we had a store, Tringo's music store on Fifth Avenue. And I remember going with him. And it was a red Mustang, Fender Mustang, brand new. I always remember that. I always wanted a red guitar since then. I always wanted that same instrument, you know what I mean? I never had gotten one, but to this day, I think about it. But I used to watch him around the house play, all the stuff, the latest tunes on the radio, this and that. He was kind of a hippie guy in a certain sense. He didn't look like one. He was a little more conservative, but he was into hippie music. So I was turned on to like the Airplane, like the Grateful Dead, all the great blues from Britain, you know, all the British blues, you know, Clapton and Cream, all that stuff. Anything around 67 that came in, like he had all those albums. My older brother, the one I was telling about, 10 years older than I was, he was in the doo-wops and Elvis and stuff like that. So I got turned on to that a lot, which is great. And then my other brother, he was into like folk music, Simon and Garfunkel, Peter, Paul and Mary, stuff like that too, Dylan. So I mean, we had a collection that was incredible. My father was a jazz guy and a classical guy, so we had that too at the same time. So I mean, me as a little kid, I was like, you know, always like, you know, around and all that stuff, like, you know, putting the stereo. My father had a Heath kit, it was called, and it was he made a speaker. And it was a mono speaker and a Macintosh head. If you're into audiophile, you know what that is. It's a tube head. And and a little turntable we had, and that's how we played all our stuff. It was amazing. You know, I remember Jan and Dean, when he died, my brother pulled the album out. He goes, "Let's check it out." He pulled it out, and we listened to Dead Man's Curve and stuff like that.
Oh, man.
You know, so I remember that day. I remember that was a long, long time ago. Yeah.
See, those memories are priceless, right?
Yeah, it sticks with me. Unbelievable how much it sticks with me. And it's like, you know, those things are what really mold you, I think, into a musician or what you do in life. There's all that stuff. Like I took that road of that. I was going to be a policeman, actually, a New York City cop.
Oh, really?
And that's a whole other story we could probably get into if you want. And
Like Eddie Money.
yeah, and I was all ready for the academy and everything. And I can tell you really, really quick the story.
Sure.
And I was in a band here, and a friend of mine called me from San Francisco, and he was a road manager for Marty Ballin and Jefferson Airplane and Jefferson Starship and Hot 2 and all these bands. So he said, "Listen, bring your band out. It's right before Christmas. We're going to do a Toys for Tots benefit at this place called the Palace of Fine Arts in San Francisco. Beautiful, beautiful place." And so we went there. We go. I'm doing a sound check. We're playing.
How old were you then?
I was probably about 26.
Okay.
So Marty Ballin, the singer of the Jefferson Airplane, came up to me, the Airplane. They had a band called KBC, Canton, Ballin and Cassidy, with Jack Cassidy playing at the time. And I did my sound check, boom, boom, and he came up to me and goes, "Wow, great guitar player, man. You really play great." And I thought he was being nice. I was like, "Oh, thanks a lot. You know, thank you very much." Da, 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 da. So a little time goes by, maybe 6 months. I was back here. I was all ready for the academy pretty much like the next week. And I had like a little weird relationship going on with a little girlfriend of mine. I'm sorry I want to tell a story about it because I hope she's not watching. But so we were living together. And so he said, "Listen, why don't you come out? Just come out for a couple of days. Just come out, get on a plane. Don't worry about it. Just come out." And I says, "All right." So I did it. Just I jumped on a plane that night. I went to the airport. I went there. He took care of an old church that Marty Ballin owned. It's called the Church of San Anselmo. It's north of San Francisco, inside San Rafael, the Grateful Dead area, all that stuff. It's in the mountains, beautiful area. A lot of rich hippies live in there, actually. So when I was there, he called Marty and said, "Listen, that kid is here that you liked." So Marty came over one day. We had a cup of coffee. He's sitting there playing. He goes, "Come back tomorrow. Would you like to play some songs with me?" And I said, "I'd love to." You know what I mean? I was like, "Wow, this is really, really something." So he came back with a little bag, and in the bag was all handwritten lyrics from the Jefferson Airplane and the Starship. Every like big song he's ever done.
Wow.
And he put it out. I said, "Yeah, I know these kind of things." So I'm playing with him, we're jamming. After about a half hour, he looked at me and he said, "Listen, I'm going on tour for the next like 3 months. Do you want to come as my guitar player?" And I said, I didn't even think about it. I'm like, I got all the stuff home. I got the academy, blah, blah, blah. So I just called home. I called my girlfriend. I said, listen, I got to get stuff on the plane. I got to come over here. I'm sorry, but this is like a big opportunity for me. So I went home, got all my stuff on a plane, came back. We practiced for 3 weeks. I learned about 60 songs with him, bass player, keyboard player himself. And we practiced in that place, that old church, which is now a rehearsal hall for him.
Oh,
So I
really?
lived there on the couch. And in the interim, I had met, when I was there, Sam Andrew, a big brother in the holding company, Janis Joplin's guitarist.
Yeah.
They were playing, obviously without Janis at the time.
Yeah.
And he said, listen, I got this little band. You want to jam like while you're not playing with Marty? I'd love to. So I went there.
Oh,
I slept on the couch, and I played guitar. He played saxophone. It was really, because he's a guitar player, a really great guitar player. If you look him up, Sam Andrew. He passed away a couple of years ago. A really, really dear person. But anyway, so I went there, learned all these songs, slept on the couch. One day I'm laying there, and a big tour bus comes by outside. 2 guys walk in and says, Kerry? He goes, let's go, we're going. And I said, okay. They took my stuff downstairs. I had it all packed up, my amps and everything, guitars. I took a bag. I jumped on that bus. I didn't come home for 5 years.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was unbelievable. It was amazing. The first week I was out, we were like a lot of Midwest and stuff like that. We were playing a lot of theaters and stuff like that. And I felt to myself that, I mean, am I going to be able to do this? Like 3 or 4 gigs in a row. Because I drank a lot of coffee at the time, actually. I stopped drinking coffee. And I'd be on the tour bus, and the bus driver was a road manager for David Crosby at one time. So him and I, we really kind of, connected really, really well. And there was a seat right where the door comes on the bus. It'd sleep 12 people in a stateroom in the back. It was called an Eagle Coach. It's really wild. That's a whole other story. But anyway, so what I do is I would sit there, play guitar with the bus driver all night long. I played every song that driver knew, but I was singing the song. But
With the
said
windshield wipers?
it's slapping. So we were, so all through everywhere, Salt Lake City, everywhere. It was amazing, actually. But I drink a lot of coffee. So I go to bed about 6 in the morning, wake up, do a sound check at 2, in a 400-mile, trip, do that, and then, have to relax and do another show. So by the 4th night of this, even not really sleeping, I was like, am I going to be able to do this? And all of a sudden I got this adrenaline that just came over me. I was young. And that was it. I knew that this was unbelievable. It was great,
Yeah.
It was so much fun. What an opportunity. And, he was a great guy too, Marty. He taught me so much about being a musician, being a professional person, and how it worked. Not necessarily, how I played, but how you have to act and how you have to you're a team, and you don't want to be a third wheel or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
You want to be you want to do the best you can, because an opportunity, anybody, anytime I could just not work out properly, I could be replaced or something like that in a lot of ways.
You're out.
Well, anybody could, obviously, so. But that was the greatest thing ever. And I was with him for almost 5 years. We did an album together. We did. I toured, went to Russia.
Now, is that what made you decide to stay in music? Was it that?
Yes. I opened a publishing company at the time, BMI, with them. I came back here. That's a whole other story. I came back, and a doctor friend of mine wanted to finance a CD for me, and he did. And he worked. He was the doctor that was on call for Ron Delsner.
Oh, cool.
So what he would do is he would be there on calls in case somebody needed something, like insurance purposes. So he did an album. We did an album, a blues album, the first album that we did with Kerry Band, actually. And this was around 95, maybe 96, by the time when I got back from California. And so we did the album, and he was good friends, and he used to talk to this guy called John Podell. And John Podell was the agent for the Allman Brothers. And Peter
you
Gabriel
played with them too, right?
Well, that's how this started.
Okay.
So one day he had the CD with him, gave it to John Podell. John listened to it, and he called me 10 o'clock in the morning with them, sleeping one summer morning. And I was like, he's like, hey, I love that slidey stuff, man. Reminds me of Dwayne. This is great. I'm going to go on my boat today with my friends. I'm going to listen to it again, and I'll get back to you. I hung the phone up, and I Went back to sleep. I didn't know who it was. You know, and for years I went to sleep. Now I'm up after COVID. I can wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Back then I wouldn't wake up after, before 12 o'clock. But I had no idea. So my friend called me. The doctor said, "Did he call you?" I'm like, "Who was that?" And he goes, "That's the man. That's the agent of the Allman Brothers." Like, holy smoke! So he called me again, like a couple of days later. Said, "What label are you with?" I'm like, "We don't really have a label. We just made it ourselves." He says, "Well, we got to get a label for you." So we called this label. They were called Palmetto, and what they were was they were a jazz label, independent jazz label in Greenwich Village, and John told me, he says, "All we need is one company. That's all we need is that. And I can put you with the Allman Brothers. I can put you to open up for them and do what you got to do."
Wow.
I said, "Great." So Manny's Car Wash was a great place. It was uptown, 88th Street and like 3rd Avenue, and it was a blues club. $3 beers, $10 to get in. Buddy Guy played there. I mean, this was back, back then. And so I got called a couple times to play there. I was like, "Oh, this is great. We got this great stuff." My buddy Fox, he was another impresario of blues in the city, fantastic person. He passed away a couple of years ago too. He would get us up there. So I told John where we're playing. I said, "Listen, we're playing at Manny's Car Wash." You know what I mean? He says, "I'm going to send a red company there to see you guys. They're going to check you out." I said, "Okay, great." So we go there that night. 2 guys walking back in the green room. The place was very long. It was a long bar, very thin, about the size of this room. You can see the room, maybe 12, 15 feet long, maybe this way, wide. So the place would be completely packed from the stage that was small all the way to the door. And it was like maybe 50 feet back or something like that. It was like a long thing. So they walk in. I go backstage with the band was sitting there playing, and talking, and they says, "How you doing, Kerry? We're Palmetto Records, blah, blah, blah. We had to see you, da, da, da. Oh, great. Da, 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 da. Okay, we're going to play in a little while. Okay, good." So they walked out, and we go up. I must have played maybe 5 notes, and I see them turn around and leave.
Really?
They left. But Monday morning, I was signing a record deal with them.
Really? Yeah. Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, it was amazing, actually. It was like, these are really things I think about once in a while. Like right now, you're asking me questions, so I think
It must have been heartbreaking at the moment, though, when you saw
I was like,
them.
I said the band after, I was like, "Oh, man, now what?" But not even now what. It was like, I wasn't, it was like one of those things.
Oh, crap.
But it's funny. It was great, though. It was really something. And then I was with them for about a year or two. We made an album. We went out and played. Then Relics Records came to see us, Relics Magazine. It was like a Grateful Dead type of magazine. And we signed with them. They had Little Feat and a couple of bands, and we went out and played with them. Went out with Dickie Betts for one summer. We did that. That was great.
Nice.
And it was a lot of fun. It was great. That got me on my whole road of what I'm doing pretty much now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And our album today,
Yep.
right here, ladies and gentlemen, da-la-la. It's just a self-titled Kerry Kearney. This is my 21st record, actually. 21st album.
21.
We have, sorry, I got a really bad allergy. We're on 3 big charts right now on the radio, which is great. One is the big college radio. We're like up in like the top 10. One's called the Big Blues chart, which is kind of funny. And one is this other one, this big download chart that we're on. So we're having a lot of success with it, actually.
Excellent.
I don't know how it's doing with my bank account right now, but it is it's great though. But that's the whole thing. I tell people too, like the musicians that start playing. I know how I felt when I first started playing. It wasn't like I was sitting there playing the guitar as a kid saying, "Wow, I'm going to make money doing this," or whatever. It's the love of it. You have to love it to really get it. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I've had jobs throughout the years, not just doing that, but on the music store once actually. So that was pretty cool. But
that's cool. Where was that?
It was on Flatbush Avenue. It's called King James Music. Okay. A friend of mine and I, we bought it, and at the time, and it was great because I wake up in the morning, look over and see a guitar. I get in my car, listen to music, get to the music store, see guitars and everything else. Leave there, go to a jam at night, come home, see guitars in my house. It was nonstop 24 hours of music. I never got sick of it though. It was great.
Well, that's how you know it's in your heart.
Sure, yeah. That's it's the love of it.
Yeah.
When you have the love, you can tell by the way people play and sing. And they have these God-given gifts, like some of these great singers out there. You know what I mean? I'm a blues singer person. I'm a guitar player first and a singer second in a lot of ways. But some of these people have that real thing. You tell when they're singing. It's an unbelievable thing.
Angels.
It is. It's God-given.
It's amazing.
Really amazing.
So the first time I met you, I was guest with Foghat
Ah,
in the Blender Theater in
Oh,
New
that
York
was a good
City.
show.
That was a great show. Yeah.
That was a great time. I remember that very well, actually, very well.
And
Yeah.
the other band that was there, they were great too.
Yeah,
How come I can't remember?
they were. I can't. I did a recording
Steve
with them.
Calleran was the bass player. He was
Yeah.
amazing.
And the horn player too was great.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I remember he jammed with us that night. That was great. But I had Roger come up, but from Foghat, he came up and played a song with us too on the drums. It was great that night.
Yeah, that was a good night.
That's a great theater. It's still there too, the Blender.
Is it?
Yeah. They're still doing stuff there. The Gramercy, they call it the Gramercy Theater.
Oh, it's called the
Gramercy
Gramercy
Park,
now?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Blender. But it was, it's funny. It's from a, there I am again, my nose. Sorry. It was from, what was that company that takes all the theaters now? Live Nation.
Oh, okay.
And they set it up just like
That's
when you go
Jim
to
Faith, right?
he's not really, he's part of them. He works with them.
Oh, okay.
But I know the Paramount had a Live Nation thing going on where they took it was an old theater. They took out all the seats and there's a bar on each side. And if they want to put seats in, they'll put seats in for like more of a mellow band, whatever.
Right.
And the Blender did the same thing. They had things on the side, took all the seats out and had a big balcony in the back. And fantastic sound there too. It was great.
Now the Paramount in Huntington
Yes.
used to be the IMAC Theater.
I remember, I played the iMac. Yeah, way back when. With Sonny
Rothbard.
Landreth, actually, with the great slide player,
Yeah.
yeah.
There was a guy, Mike Rothbard.
Rothbard, yes.
He, I met him at one of the Stony Brook events, and we became friendly. And he passed away way too young.
Yeah. That's terrible.
Yeah.
He had some of the greatest stuff there, though.
Yeah.
You know what was great about it was that it was one of those things where I call it the FUV type of thing going on, where it's like there's this really cool station out there. What was the other one too? EHM also was like that, where you have a thing that when you put the radio on normally, in my age group, you're flicking the stations like crazy trying to find something you want to listen to. You know what I mean? Although I love all music. I mean, it could be any kind of genre, new, whatever it is. Obviously, it's good because billions of people like it. So if I'm not, it's like a color. What color you like or this or that. It's the thing where somebody's gonna like it out there. So I can't knock it. You know what I mean? Even though it's not my cup of tea.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that theater, the iMac, was in the realm where that I would like. And I was a little younger at the time, but still, like FUV plays songs that you hear that you like, even if it's not, and it could be new, but it's still in your genre. It's still kind of like, it's familiar with things from like the old, with some Hot Tuna, say, or Little Feet, or this or that, or the Subdudes, which are, a newer band.
Yeah.
And the same thing with EHM. They do that also. They have those things that are like that. That's pretty cool.
I'm not familiar with EHM. I got to listen
Long
to
Island.
that.
Yeah, Long Island station. Excellent.
I got
I
to
think
check
it's
it out.
92.9 or 7, I think it is.
I have to check it out.
Excellent station. But
being a musician, you listen to music different. That's why you can have a wide variety of genres you could listen to, because you're not just hearing the music. You're saying, oh, what's the bass doing? What's the drums doing, right?
I always said that about how people take things seriously. Like there was some bad stuff with like Ozzy Osbourne at times, with somebody maybe committing suicide, hearing the music a certain way. When I was young, I'm glad I didn't think that way. I was wondering like what kind of strings he used, or what kind of amp he had. I wasn't getting that kind of like mental thing going on. But that's why I'm a lot of ways I'm glad I'm a musician. I took that route. I'm glad I'm not a movie maker. You know why?
Why?
Because if I went and watched a horror movie, I would know how it's done. I'd be like, I wouldn't be scared.
Yeah.
Well, I like being scared of the movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'd say, oh, I know how it's done. But yeah, the music, I kind of like understand the way things are going, how things are mic'd and stuff like that. So it's cool.
And you appreciate things.
Oh, I
right?
love it. I love when I hear something like that. I'm like, wow, what is this? I remember the first time a friend of mine told me, he was an engineer, music engineer. He heard Bruce Hornsby.
Oh, yeah.
That's just the way it is. Him and his friend were in a car. They stopped, and he cocked his head over, and he was like, "That's got to be a so and so. It's got to be a so and so. It's got to be so and so." He was picking it apart. He was listening to this great piano sound, and I remember listening to it for the first time, saying, "Wow, this is really something."
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, that's a great thing, and just being able to appreciate the different kinds of music I just love that. I love that. Everything from, like you said, the classical, jazz, rock. I'm a rock and blues guy.
Right, right,
So,
right.
but the other stuff I love too. I just appreciate the effort that goes into it. And
It's interesting you say that because people wouldn't realize this. An average listener, which makes the world go round. I mean, average listener is really what the whole thing's all about.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like it makes me do what I do, and be appreciated by people, like which is great. But someone like Jimmy Page, who you put like on this little pedestal of being like this rock god, this metal guy, whatever, like when it was in its infancy, and when you hear songs, he's doing like pedal steel bends. He's doing like country riffs. And unless you're a musician, you wouldn't know that. You'd say, "Oh, Led Zeppelin, blah blah blah," but really realizing that he's listening to so and so, this
yeah,
country guy at one time,
yeah.
like Chet Atkins. He's doing a Chet Atkins riff. You know what I mean? Which is you wouldn't think that, but these guys have that whole thing going like that. Interesting thing about Jimmy Page is that when he was about 16, he played the guitar on Goldfinger,
Yes,
the actual
yeah,
song.
yeah. I
He
heard that.
was a studio guy.
Yeah,
I heard that. I was like, wow, that's wild.
a lot of stuff he played
He
on.
played a lot. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. And Donovan.
Oh, I
And
didn't know
John Paul
Donovan.
Jones too did a lot of the arranging for Donovan too.
Oh, all
A lot
right.
of his music too, like that's pretty cool. Yeah.
He's amazing too.
Oh yeah, all of them.
Yeah.
They're all. I mean, it's funny. Some of these guys that are producers, that are musicians, that are production guys too. Guys like Jim Messina, guys like Pete Townsend. I mean, when you hear them, their music, you're like, wow, and they're so involved. And Jimmy Page, of course, they're so involved in how the process is going on. They don't just go in and make an album. They're right behind what's, hey, this is, to get a sound, to get this and that, to get it going. Like
Yeah,
that,
because they could hear it in their head ahead of time.
Absolutely. And that's what makes these great, unbelievable, like Tommy and stuff like that. It's like, these things are incredible. Until this day, it's like, it's amazing. I remember one day hearing Who's Next on WBAB, Long Island Station. And they must have a good compressor, because when they have a good compressor and the sound is always like really killer. And I'm listening to Won't Get Fooled Again, and I was like, wow. I was like amazed. Like I was like, listen to this, and it was done like in 1970s. That was like such a long time ago. How did they do this? I mean, how did they make it so great?
I see that a lot where the old technology gets forgotten about.
Sure.
I just saw a show last night on these ancient things, like they're finding these ancient discoveries that they were able to do these things that they weren't aware that they were that advanced or
Right.
be able to do those things, and that technology is lost sometimes.
There's in Greece. There's a mechanism, they call it something mechanism. I can't antithykeria. I can't pronounce it. But what it is basically it's like 10,000 years old, and it's like cogwheels. It looks like the inside of a watch.
Right, right.
That should never have been.
Oh, that
then.
thing, yeah, they found it in the ocean.
In the ocean, yeah.
I saw that. That's
And
awesome.
they X-rayed it and stuff like that, and you're looking at it, you're like,
They say it was
10,000.
like could have been one of the first computers, or
It's unbelievable, yeah, all the stuff, the civilizations.
yeah, I love that.
What are they going to find out when we're gone? That's what I want to say. You know what I mean? Like what's happening here? The guitar, the Fender Stratocaster, 100,000 years from now, the Les Paul will pop out somewhere.
You mean they're
like,
not going to be around then?
I'm sure it will. They haven't. I mean, they really. In a lot of ways, you can't even, you can't improve on it.
Well,
a great Martin guitar, a great Gibson guitar, you can't improve on them. The people playing till this day, you hear it.
I have my grandfather's '57 Gibson.
Oh.
I love it.
Well, what is it? What?
It's an ES-225. So
Oh,
it's
I know what it is.
a thin,
Yeah.
hollow body.
Yes. The P90 pickups.
It's like a Les Paul on steroids.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But it just has such a great bluesy sound.
It's amazing how they got it right back then. They all got
And
it.
I have the '57 amp that came with it.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Great. That also, the amps are another thing, too, the tubes.
Yeah.
You can't, like a good B3 organ, like they have like a, something that sounds like it. They have like a, thing going on. And a piano, you press a button, you get a B3 organ.
Yeah.
But nothing's like the actual thing. But you need a truck to bring it around. You
That's
need like
it.
4 guys to help you carry it, too.
Yeah, it's a little convenient, this
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And that brings us into AI.
Oh,
One of the big conversation parts with music legacy is people are afraid what AI is going to do.
right.
But I really think that's why musicians have to focus on their live performances. That'll never be replaced by AI.
Yeah, I mean, I find that, and it's a place where a lot of musicians will flourish, like, monetarily, because like selling records and selling CDs or whatever it is, blah blah blah, like selling things that, unless you're like some kind of like, you're like Taylor Swift or something like that, or something like, people aren't really buying things anymore. Even older bands, like if you go see a band, the Allman Brothers for a while before they had disbanded, obviously, they used to record the actual show you were at, and as you walked out, they had a big stack of CDs that you could buy of what you just
Oh,
were
wow.
just at. Yeah, yeah. So they had to have it mixed and everything all ready to go. It's amazing. And that was the thing where I think where the live thing again. Live is where a lot of people tour just because that's how they're making their living. They're touring like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Cool.
I've had a professional band that I spoke with recently told me if it wasn't for touring and selling merchandise at the shows,
Selling
they'd be
merch.
in the poorhouse.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. We've had so many T-shirts. I mean, we started, God, I don't know how many years ago it was, but I'll go to the Great South Bay and I'll see 200 different T-shirts, literally, of our T-shirts. Don't walk around saying, "Is that really you guys? Is that you guys again?" I'm like, "Yeah, these people have this stuff. I mean, it's pretty wild."
Wow.
But and it all held up too. My great printer,
Oh,
they
you did it
teased me over in
yourself?
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
they're printing.
oh,
It
okay.
held up all these years. It's like
Yeah.
it didn't even fade. It's great. So
Yep.
quality.
They made it to
They made it
last.
to last. That's
Yeah.
what you got to do.
And that's what you want when you
Oh,
buy
yeah.
that stuff. You don't
Sure.
want the garbage.
I mean, I have T-shirts in an old drawer. I saw a Never Clapton T-shirt from like '74. I lifted it up. It was like it goes on a teddy bear. It's like this big. I could put it on. Is that how big I was at the time? Shrinking like that. It's crazy.
During COVID, I redid my recording studio in my house.
Okay.
And I found in a drawer, I found all my old T-shirts, Led Zeppelin, Jethro Tull, Buddy Guy, all these great T-shirts. And what I did is I put them in picture frames,
Oh, that's
and I
great.
hung them in the studio.
Nice,
So it's
nice,
kind of
nice.
cool. Aerosmith.
Oh boy, yeah, that's great.
Yeah, fun.
Yeah.
So tell us a little about the new album.
The new album started about 4 years ago. This is interesting. I used to make a CD like almost every year, or every like 2 years. We go in for a couple of weeks and we bang it out. It's blues type music, blues rock. So there's no real trickery to it. It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I was a perfectionist a little bit for a while, and I said, I can't do this. When I listen to like Van Morrison, this and that, he does things in like one take or two, and if he did it again, it wouldn't be the same. So that song that is so in your heart and in your soul that you heard them play, he'd never do it again the same. That's it. It's the painting that you see. You know what I mean? So about 4 years ago, we started doing some stuff, and had a bunch of tracks, and I kind of like went away from it for a little bit, came back to it, went away from it a little bit a couple of years later, and I had all this stuff. I'm like, we got to do something. So what happened was over at Paradiddle Records over in Huntington. Okay. What happened was he called me and he said, "Listen, I'm doing these compilation CDs we put out. One is Bob Dylan, one is Warren Zevon." Okay. Bill Herman, his name is, the engineer, the owner. And he said, "Would you play on one of these things?" I was like, "I'd love to." So I brought the band in, and we did the song called "Meet Me in the Morning." It's on here actually, and that's by Bob Dylan, and it was on Blood on the Tracks. I'm not familiar with a lot of Bob Dylan music. I am a certain way, but it was like a blues song. And I said, "Sounds great." So we did that. Boom, boom, boom. He put that out, and then we did a Warren Zevon song called "Rub Me Raw." That was on his last album before he passed away, Warren Zevon. And I did a whole slide thing on it actually, because it was Joe Walsh did the original on Warren Zevon's. So I did my own version of the song. And so we did that, and I put it on the album also, and it's on the compilation that's coming out pretty soon from Paradiddle Records. And you can go paradiddlerecords.com. I can't even say it and then spell it for you, but we'll show it to you and stuff. So
We'll post it in
we're
there.
going to get it to you.
Yeah.
But and I was talking to him. I says, "Listen, I have this material." He goes, "Well, let's do something. Let's we struck a deal, and that's what we did." So just around June, we put it out. So it's fairly new, and before that we got to all the radio, and pretty much internationally, and we were on these great charts. We're on fantastic.
Beautiful.
And the funny thing is, we didn't do it with a big budget. I find out a lot of blues music is not really that kind of budget. If you're on like a pop, thing, obviously, I'm too old for that kind of stuff anyway. I could play blues until I'm 190, and it never kind of goes out. I mean, the songs sound like they were written 50 years ago, but it's still blues music. It's what it is. You know what I'm saying? I like doing stuff too. Just to explain to you one thing, is my type of blues that we play. I like it being uppity and fun, because I find that if you can dance to it, like a lot of guys are into guitar players, but maybe women might not be like that. A lot of people of my age, they're married, they're blah, blah, blah. They can bring their wife and go out
And have fun.
come and have fun, and they can dance, and they can, so in that sense like that. And there's always a great groove. I love doing cool grooves.
And great musicians. you play
Louisiana,
with.
oh my God, they're great. Mario Staiano, my drummer. Joe
I've been trying to
Sorrentino.
get Mario to do an interview. You have
Well, Mario,
Mario,
we're
get
going
over
to get
here.
you over here, Mario. And but they were with Savoy Brown for years,
Yeah.
those guys, both of them.
Yeah.
And met with Sam Taylor, the great Sam Taylor, Mario was with. And
That was my first interview. Was
Sam?
Sean Chambers and the Savoy
Chambers.
Brown
Okay.
rhythm section.
oh, wow.
That was my first one. Arnie Goodman asked
With
me
Arnie,
to do that.
yeah, I know Arnie, great. I just saw Arnie recently, actually. He's a great guy.
Yeah, I was supposed to go out there. I couldn't that weekend. I was going to be in Pennsylvania.
But but Mario, Jerry, and my great compadre, my great, partner in a lot of ways is Jack LaCitra.
Oh,
Great
yeah?
people play. You have to get
he's
Jack on
great.
here.
Yeah.
Jack's got a lot. Jack is he's metaphysical. He's a young guy that's like, he's Professor Long Hair. He's Dr. John. I mean, when I first met him, he was very young. So I was in my 20s probably. He was like just turning 20, I think it was. And he knew all these people, all these bands he was into. He wasn't into like of the day. He was into what I was into, all this like rootsy stuff going on. And just amazing. He's got a lot of great stuff. He's got a lot of great albums out, great CDs, jacklacitra.com. And he runs a school too.
Oh, yeah? Which
Arts
school?
Pharmacy, it's called.
Oh, yeah?
It's over in Sayville. And teaches everything. Teaches, he has every kind of, instrument pretty much going on.
Oh, that's
But
awesome.
he's just great. But the four of us, and my one other real cherry on the cake with the band is Nydia Liberty Mata. She's my conga player from Cuba,
Oh, wow.
and she's great. And she was Laura Nero's conga player for 20 years
Oh, wow.
back then. Yeah, fantastic player. And I met her through another great friend of mine, Steve Adelson. He's the guy you got to talk to. He plays the stick.
It sounds familiar.
It's this long neck. He plays with both hands, and he hammers.
Yeah. But I mean, Steve Adelson. That
Steve
name
Adelson.
sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's lives in Long Beach. I do some jazz things with him. I mean, I'm as far a jazz guitar player as you can even imagine. I mean, I know a couple of ninth chords, for God's sakes, but it's like, I'm not really a jazz guy. But we fuse together the blues and what he does, and it's really, really great thing. But I met her through him, and we were doing the Long Beach Jazz Fest. He would hire me all the time to do blues stuff. And so I met her there and had to come and jam with me. And now we're five of us are pretty much inseparable. That's all on the album and stuff too.
Oh, cool.
So it's great. And some special guests. Bill Lifford, great harmonica player. Fantastic, actually.
Excellent.
He's on there. Mark Mancini, another great.
I know Mark.
You know Mark.
Mark's brother used to work out of this studio.
Oh, really?
He's both good guys. Yeah.
Yeah. But Mark's on there too, doing stuff with me.
I love to watch Mark play. Actually, I met him the first time at one of your shows.
Really?
When you did what was the
Gathering the Slides?
Gathering of the Slides
Over in Brookhaven.
in Brookhaven?
Yeah. Oh, those are great shows.
And Ken Korb, I met him there
Kenny.
too.
Kenny's not doing too well. Kenny's
I know.
he's not feeling good.
I've been talking
But he's
to him.
having a party. In a couple of weeks, I'm going to go to his party. I'm going to go and see him. And
Nice.
he's a great guy. I mean, that's another guy that's just like, he's just the love. I mean, he pulls that stuff from
He's such a great
1915.
guy.
Oh, this is so-and-so from 1915, train song. I'm like, he's really, really well versed in what he does.
Yeah.
And he does it great too. It's really, really great.
Yeah, we've been trying to get together, but
Yeah,
both our health at the same time was not doing well.
gotcha.
But we've been talking. It's getting close. We're hopefully going to get together.
Yeah, he's great. And but that's pretty much on the whole thing on the CD. And
Cool.
we like I said, we're doing pretty well with it. So I'm really excited. And I got a lot of good stuff coming up. I got a lot of stuff that's in the works. So
Now
go
you have
on
a
our
website, right?
Yes, KerryConleyOfficial.com, and you can see everything there. If you're on Facebook with me, I'm always on Facebook putting stuff up, so you see that pretty much weekly of things that are going on the next couple of weeks. So a lot of stuff going on too, so it's great. So we'll talk.
All right.
Sounds great. Tony,
Great
you're
having
unbelievable. I'm dying to hear you play.
Oh, I don't play that great.
come on.
I'm so out of practice.
Come on. Look, Bob Dylan made a whole career out of that.
Yeah, true.
God's sake. You know what's funny? One day I'm listening to, a long time ago, my brother, I was in the room and he came in and I'm listening to Don't Think Twice, It's All Right, guitar. And he goes, that's not Dylan playing that, I'm like, really? He goes, he can't play the guitar like that. I'm like, I listened to it, I'm like, interesting. But he had a guy figure pick the guitar while he sang. People don't realize that because he was a strummer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, even what, listen.
And there's a lot of songs you hear, and then later on you find out it's a Bob Dylan song.
That also. How many great songs that there were. I mean, Adele, that huge hit song. I'm like, she wrote that song. It's amazing. It's funny, but my other brother now, he's very conservative-minded in art. Not in the world. He's like liberalized, stuff like that. But in art, he's very conservative. In other words, if he sees like a Jackson Pollock or a Picasso, he's like, are you kidding? You know what I mean? To him, it's like Rembrandt. It's got to look real, right? So him and I always have this argument all the time about what's good and what's not good. I said to him, listen, Jackson Pollock has a painting. It's $10 million. Okay? It's what it is. He did what he did. It's art. Art is art. And then you have Rembrandt with a $10 million painting. Okay, art is art. What makes one better than the other one? What makes an odd band not as good as say the like Yes with their great musicianship? It's what it is. So you even tell me that, I can't remember. It's your art is your art. It's what you do. It's what it is.
And this comes up.
There should never be. We should have this on thing. There should never be a contest in art or music, because it's like, what color do you like?
Yeah.
It really is. It's not like we're running a race and I ran faster than you. How can you say one thing is not as good as that?
Yeah.
When people are going to love that, I like that a lot. I might be like, I'm not crazy. I like this one better. You know what I mean? That's how art and music is.
Yeah, and sometimes you're amazed, how could they be selling 1 million records of this? But to somebody who likes it.
That's what I said before. To somebody, even though I'm not like it or yourself, somebody's going to like it. Rap. I'm not a rap guy, but somebody's going to like that.
Yeah.
Somebody, it talks to them somehow, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I started to say, this comes up in almost every interview. It's like you're on the same wavelength with your audience.
Right.
And they come in to see you because you have that connection.
That's it, yeah.
Same thing with the people you play with.
I'm doing a show next Saturday at the Grounds and Sounds Cafe. It's a non-denominational church over in Stony Brook on Nichols Road. And they asked me to come and do a show there. And I said, I'm going to do something different because it's kind of folky. Holds about 100 people. It's really, really cool, actually. Good room. So I called a friend of mine, Maria. I did an album with her, actually, Maria Fairchild. She plays the clawhammer banjo. I met her at a show with that Baca place over in Babylon Arts Council, whatever it is. I did a show there one time, and she was there with another band playing. I was like, wow, we got to do something together. Because she plays it with this side of her hand. She doesn't finger it.
Really?
It goes like this. It's called clawhammer.
Yeah.
And a lot of Appalachian.
I've heard of it, but I've never seen somebody do it.
And we're going to do the show together. We do blues together. I'll play behind her the bluegrass stuff. And we're going to do a show like that. I mean, I don't do it a lot. And to me, it's going to be kind of a special thing for me to do it. A lot of finger pick. I got finger pick this week, actually. I got to get my finger picking going. I'll play some acoustic slide. It's just a lot of fun, though. I love changing up a lot of times. That's why I'm psyched about the sitar I was telling you about.
And it's so cool when you meet new people and somehow you just come up with stuff together.
Oh, absolutely.
It just
the talent is ridiculous around here. When I lived in Marin, that's where I lived in California, north of San Francisco. It reminds me of Long Island because the amount of talent and people, what they did and how they played was unbelievable. I told my girlfriend the story the other day when I got the sitar. The guy also gave me a pair of tablas. The tabla is a little drum.
Oh, yeah?
The Indian drum. The guy sits cross-legged, and he plays with his fingers.
With his fingers? Okay.
Now, I lived in California. My girlfriend that was there, she was a dance instructor, right? And a woman used to come in all the time, and she was from India. And she had a daughter. And my girlfriend had a daughter also. They went to school together. So one day I was home, and she says, listen, I'm going to be about an hour late, but the little girl's father's going to pick her up. You know, would you be here? I was like, yeah, I'll wait. So they were playing Little Indian Girl and my girlfriend's daughter. So when this guy knocked on the door, right? This is very interesting. This is the crazy story. I still think about it. I'm like, wow. He knocks on the door. He goes, hey, Kerry. And I said, how you doing? How you doing? So he walks in, Indian guy, and he says, and all of a sudden the little girl starts crying. She didn't want to go home, his daughter. So on his hands, he was doing something with his fingers that I couldn't believe what he was doing. It was like, blah, 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 blah. And he's going, don't worry, be happy, to his daughter. I'm looking at him like, wow. We talked for a while, had a cup of tea, something like that. We were just, hanging out. And then he left, and he goes, oh, you play with Marty? He goes, I play with Mickey Hart. I'm in his band, the Planet Drum. I'm like, oh, great. His name was Zakir Hussain. Look it up. When you go on and you put in the greatest tabla player in the world on Google, he comes up as the #1 tabla player in the world.
Wow.
And when a couple albums I recorded like way prior to this, like about 20 years ago, I used to record in a garage in Rockaway Beach. A friend of mine had a 16-track Tascam, and we used to record there. A lot of stuff we did there. So at 3 o'clock in the morning, we would having a little something to drink, we would go to Dunkin' Donuts down on 116th Street in Rockaway, right near where we were. And it was all Indian guys owned the place. And so I'm standing there, I just said, you guys know who Zakir Hussain is? He goes, Zakir? He goes, oh, Zakir. I says, yeah, he came to my house once. He goes, what? And he walked in the back. 5 guys walked out that were cooking, that were making donuts, and stood there and looked at me and said, how do you know Zakir? I'm like, oh, he was he lived down a block, whatever, in California. He goes, basically, he said, he's like the Mick Jagger. That's how famous he is in India.
Wow.
He was the most famous guy. And he was from a dynasty of Indian players. And they would literally make him play. They would scold him if he didn't get it right.
Oh, wow.
So he was a dynasty of this lineage of this loyal royal players.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Here's this guy. And I'm sitting there talking to him. I'm like, wow, this is really wild. And but there he was, Zakir. It's amazing. But that made me think about when I saw the Synthol come out. I was like, and Zakir died a couple of years ago.
Oh, he did.
So
yeah.
he was with John McLaughlin for a couple of years.
Oh,
too.
really?
He played with George Harrison too.
Oh, wow.
He was with all these guys, and he was just the coolest. Like I said, on his hands. When I saw that, I was like, what is he? He was like on his fingers, and it was loud. You know what I mean?
It's kind of like I can't sit still even when I'm
was
sitting here talking.
I'm
always
too.
tapping. Yeah.
Same thing. I'm like, oh man, I had caffeine today. I'm trying to get off caffeine. That's funny.
My wife even tells me, would you stop that?
No, okay.
Yeah, sometimes the legs
Restless
going.
leg syndrome.
Well, I appreciate you being here.
Sure,
and,
thank you so much.
Let's
I'll
do
send you that
something
stuff.
together.
No, I definitely want to do.
Okay.
This is great.
Music Legacy International.